Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing well. Today, we are going to begin with the chapter 8 of history, which is the First Empire. Let us start with the first topic, which is the prevailing situation. Before we begin the chapter, let us understand that we are here in this chapter will study about the First Empire, means the first ever kingdom of India. Okay, so before that, what was the situation that we will see? The prevailing situation means before the first empire was established in India, before that period, what was the situation? See the paragraph and read along with me. Around 323 BCE, Magadh, the major Indian kingdom of that time, was ruled by a king who was unpopular amongst his people, means during 323 BCE. Okay, Magadh is a place, right? And in that place, a major Indian kingdom of that time was ruled. Okay, there was a kingdom, okay, which was ruled by a king, and the king was not so popular amongst his people. Okay, and the kingdom had spread over a vast area, but the rulers were gradually losing control as people did not have faith in the rulers anymore. Means during 3023 BCE in Magad, there was a kingdom, and the kingdom was ruled by a king who was not very popular amongst his people. Means he was not so popular king. Okay, he was not that popular, and the people of that kingdom does not have any faith in him. They were losing control as people do not have any faith. Means लोगों को उस king के ऊपर कोई भरोसा नहीं था, and slowly it came to end, right? Now the foreign invaders, means the invaders who generally the kings or no, the kings from the foreign dynasty, they were invading to India. The foreign invaders had overrun large sections of the country. Alexander, a very ambitious Greek king, was progressing towards the king. You have heard about Alexander in your school, also in your many historical books. Alexander was a famous foreign invader. He was a very powerful and a very ambitious invader, a king who actually came from the foreign country, and he was progressing towards India. He was coming to India. Okay. Now we will see what was Alexander's effort to conquer India. Means what Alexander did to conquer India. Okay, all those things we'll see here. See the first point. It is written that Alexander entered India through the Hindu Kush mountains. From which side he entered India? From the Hindu Kush mountain ranges. Okay, he fought his way through, and by 326 BC, means around 326 BC, he entered India, right? He had crossed the Indus River and met the king of the Taxila. Okay, Taxila is the old name, and the new name is Takshashila. Okay, which is given in your book, which is located near Islamabad, the capital city of modern day Pakistan. So Alexander was a foreign king. Okay, means he was from outside the India. He was a foreigner. He came to India to conquer India. Okay, to take over Indian kingdoms. Okay, to rule India. Now he when he came to India, okay, after coming to India, he met a king from Takshila. Okay, and during that time, Takshila was a place and which is located near the Islamabad city. Takshila is located near the Islamabad, the capital city of modern day Pakistan. Today, in modern day, the Pakistan's capital is Islamabad, and it is situated or located in that area. Okay, now the king welcomed Alexander, and he also provided 5,000 troops to help Alexander in future conquest against King Porus, his neighbor. So the king of Takshila helped whom? Helped Alexander. The king of Takshila helped Alexander, and the king of Takshila provided Alexander 5,000 troops, matlab 5,000 troops. Okay, the army men's, he provided them 5,000 troop members so that he can with the help of those troop members he can further go and have a fight with King Porus who was his neighbor. तो उन्होंने अपने सेनाएं जो बोलते हैं ना, the soldiers, the troops, the armies, Takshila, the king of Takshila gave his 5,000 troop members to Alexander, okay, to help. He was helping Alexander, okay. So against whom? Against King Porus, who was his neighbor, okay. Now, Alexander confronted the 2000 strong elephant army of King Porus. So, he had a fight with King Porus against 2000 strong elephant. Means King Porus के पास भी 2000 strong elephants थे. उन army के साथ उन्होंने fight भी करी. But successfully defeated him. Means यहाँ पे कौन जीत गए? Alexander. Okay, Alexander defeated King Porus. Now, Alexander left the occupied territories on the west of the Indus River under the control of his general Seleucus Nicator. Means Alexander left his territory, मतलब जो territory उन्होंने occupy करी थी उस territory को उन्होंने छोड़ दिया. किसके हाथों? उनके एक general थे जो उनके साथ रहते थे, Seleucus Nicator. उनके हवाले वो उन्होंने वो territory छोड़ दी. एंड रिटर्न टू ग्रीस, वापस जहाँ से वो आए थे, he came from Greece and then he returned back to Greece, okay. And in 323 BCE Alexander died at Babylon, okay. At this period he died. Now, during this chaotic period, a new leader called Chandragupta Maurya emerged. Means after this, okay, after all this, means after all this fight, Alexander's and the Porus, after the fight among all those, okay, after everything, there was a new king who came into existence. There was a new empire which came into existence, which was known as your Mauryan Empire, and the king was Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, he was the one who became the founder of the first emperor of India. He was considered as the first emperor of India because he established the first empire, which is the name of your chapter, the first empire. He was the only one king who actually was known as the first emperor of India. He was the one king who established the first empire in India, which is your Mauryan Empire, okay. Now, let us study about some details in this paragraph about Mauryan Empire. See the first line. Chanakya, also known as Kautilya, was a teacher in Takshila. Okay, we are talking here about Chanakya. Chanakya was also known as Kautilya, and he was a teacher in Takshila. When Alexander came from the west to annex, here E will not come, okay, beta. Annex the surroundings of territories. Means annex means generally to capture or to generally to take over that place, okay. So Chanakya was also staying there in Takshila, okay. He was the teacher in Takshila when Alexander came, okay, to yes, when Alexander came to this place, and the king of Takshila and its member became allies of Alexander. Means you have studied in the previous paragraph that the king of Takshila was helping Alexander, okay. So they together were they came together, okay. The Alexander and the king of Takshila, they came together, okay. Now, Chanakya, however, planned to defeat Alexander. So, Chanakya was not in the support of Alexander. He was not in the support of Alexander. So, he decided to defeat Alexander, but with the help of the other kings. Okay, so he started to unite and fight Alexander. Okay, he started to unite the other kingdoms and fight against Alexander. Means वो Alexander के खिलाफ थे. जब Alexander आए, he met with the king of Takshila. तो तक्षशिला के किंग और Alexander वो साथ हो गए, लेकिन चाणक्य नहीं चाहते थे कि वो लोग साथ रहकर, means he doesn't wanted that they should win together or they should capture the territories. He was against them. So Chanakya planned to defeat Alexander with the help of other kings. So he took the help of Porus. Okay, Porus, a king of Punjab, was the only local king who challenged Alexander. So the Porus was the king of Punjab who actually challenged Alexander but was defeated at the battle of Hadapus river. So generally Porus and Alexander had a fight. ओके, दे हैड अ बैटल बट ही गॉट डिफीटेड, मतलब पोरस हार गए थे उस बैटल में। ओके, देन आफ्टर दैट चाणक्य ने पहले किसका हेल्प लिया? पोरस का हेल्प लिया, लेकिन पोरस भी हार गए अलेक्जेंडर के सामने। देन चाणक्य सीक द हेल्प ऑफ धनंदा, okay, ruled by Nanda Empire, which extended from Bihar and Bengal in the east to Punjab and Sindh in the west। मतलब उन्होंने फिर एक नंदा एम्पायर का हेल्प लिया। ओके, क्यों हेल्प लिया? टू अगेंस्ट टू फाइट अगेंस्ट अलेक्जेंडर, बट धनंदा रिफ्यूज टू हेल्प हिम। उन्होंने भी उनको रिफ्यूज कर दिया। ओके, उन्होंने भी अलेक्जेंडर के खिलाफ फाइट नहीं करी। After this incident, Chanakya persuaded his disciple Chandragupta to build an empire that could protect the Indian territory from foreign invasion। उसके बाद चाणक्य ने अपने डिसाइपल, जो बोलते हैं अपने डिसाइपल जो थे चंद्रगुप्ता, चंद्रगुप्ता जो थे वो चाणक्य के डिसाइपल थे। ओके, चाणक्य टीचर थे उनके। ओके, और चंद्रगुप्ता उनके डिसाइपल थे। तो चाणक्य ने चंद्रगुप्ता को कहा, क्या कहा? दैट टू बिल्ड अ एम्पायर इट इज़ वेरी नेसेसरी टू बिल्ड अ एम्पायर दैट कुड प्रोटेक्ट द इंडियन टेरिटरी। वो चाहते थे कि उनकी जो इंडियन टेरिटरी है वो प्रोटेक्ट हो। तो उसके लिए उन्होंने कहा कि एक बड़ा से एम्पायर बनाए, जिससे कि जो फॉरेन इन्वेडर्स हैं, जो बाहर के जो इन्वेडर्स हैं, जो आउटसाइड इंडिया से जो आते हैं, वो आकर इंडियन टेरिटरीज को कैप्चर ना कर सकें। ओके, सो फाइनली what happened? Finally चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य थ्रू द किंग धनंदा, क्योंकि धनंदा ने क्या किया था? उन्होंने रिफ्यूज़ कर दिया था। उन्होंने कहा था कि हम अलेक्जेंडर के खिलाफ फाइट नहीं करेंगे। ओके, तो उन्होंने क्या किया? चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य ने धनंदा को हराया एंड ही टुक ओवर हिज किंगडम, और उनका जो किंगडम था उनको भी अपने अंडर ले लिया। सो हियर in 3020 sorry in 321 BCE, Chandragupta Maurya, under the direct patronage of under the genius of Chanakya, founded the Maurya dynasty। मतलब चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य ने चाणक्य के हेल्प से फिर अपनी एक डायनेस्टी एस्टैब्लिश करी, जो है मौर्य डायनेस्टी, एंड दिस वाज द फर्स्ट एवर एम्पायर ऑफ इंडिया। ओके, now let us study about Chandragupta Maurya। What the Chandragupta, the ruling period of Chandragupta Maurya? See, the Chandragupta Maurya, the first major challenge was the Chandragupta Maurya, the first major challenge was Seleucus Nicator, means for Chandragupta Maurya। Okay, for Chandragupta Maurya the first challenge was Seleucus Nicator, who was the general of Alexander। Okay, Seleucus Nicator was the general of Alexander, so they were fighting against whom? They were fighting against Alexander, right, who was the foreign invader। So Alexander, after all, Alexander went to Greece, he died, everything happened, but Seleucus Nicator was still there। Okay, so Chandragupta wanted to defeat Seleucus Nicator। Okay, so what he did? He attempted to regain the territories to the east of the Indus once held by the Alexander। So Alexander ने जो ऑक्यूपाई किया था टेरिटरी, अभी उन्होंने Alexander ने किसको दे दिया? Seleucus Nicator को, और वो वापस ग्रीस चले गए। तो वो जो टेरिटरी थी वो चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य वापस से हासिल करना चाहते थे। ओके, सो फॉर दैट व्हाट ही डिड, ही फॉट अ बैटल। ओके, उन्होंने एक बैटल फॉट किया, एंड इन द पीस ट्रीटी दैट वाज साइन बाय सेल्यूकस कंसीडर्ड ऑल द टेरिटरीज टू चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य। फिर उन्होंने एक पीस ट्रीटी साइन की, जिन्होंने मीन्स एक बैटल हुआ, बैटल के बाद वो लोग एक कंक्लूजन पे आए। उन्होंने आपसी, मतलब क्या क्या कह सकते हैं, म्यूचुअल टॉक से, ओके, म्यूचुअल टॉक से, आपसी समझ से एक ट्रीटी साइन किया। ओके, एक डॉक्यूमेंट पे एक साइन किया, जिसमें ये लिखा गया था कि सेल्यूकस निकेटर सारी टेरिटरीज किसके हवाले करते हैं? चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य के। ओके, अब उनके हाथ में कुछ भी नहीं है, मीन सेल्यूकस निकेटर के पास कुछ भी नहीं है। जितनी भी टेरिटरीज अलेक्जेंडर ने कैप्चर करी थी, मतलब जो फॉरेन इन्वेडर ने कैप्चर करी थी, वो सारी टेरिटरीज अब वो वापस चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य को दे दिए। ओके, under Chandragupta and his successor, both internal and external trade, agriculture, and economic activities expanded across the India. When Chandragupta Maurya was ruling in India, then everything was growing, means agriculture was growing, economic activities were growing, okay, business was growing, so everything was going well under the rule of Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, after Chandragupta Maurya, the rule of Bindusar came. Who was Bindusar? Bindusar was the son of Chandragupta। Okay, so the empire expanded to India's central and southern region, means जो उनका empire था, जो चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य का जो empire था, वो बढ़ने लगा। Okay, through the central and the southern region अंडर द एम्परर बिंदुसार द सन ऑफ चंद्रगुप्त। तो जब चंद्रगुप्त के बाद कौन आए, उनके बेटे बिंदुसार। तो जब बिंदुसार थे तब उनका रीजन और भी ज़्यादा बड़ा होने लगा, और भी ज़्यादा बढ़ने लगा उनका एम्पायर। ओके, द मौर्यन एम्पायर हैड इट्स कैपिटल सिटी एट पाटलिपुत्र नियर मॉडर्न डे पटना। तो उनका कैपिटल सिटी कौन सा था, पाटलिपुत्र। ओके, सो दिस वाज द रूल ऑफ बिंदुसार। आफ्टर द रूल ऑफ बिंदुसार the reign of Ashoka came. And who was Ashoka? Ashoka was the son of बिंदुसार। तो सबसे पहले चंद्रगुप्ता, चंद्रगुप्ता के बाद आए उनके बेटे बिंदुसार, फिर बिंदुसार के बाद उनके बेटे अशोका। सो ड्यूरिंग द reign of Ashoka, what happened? Within 7 years of taking over the reign of Mauryan Empire, Ashoka, the son of Bindusar, decided to annex Kalinga. Means विद इन 7 ईयर, मतलब 7 साल के अंदर ही, मतलब जब वो रूल कर रहे थे, जब अशोका के हाथ में किंगडम आया, ओके, जब अशोका के हाथ में वो किंगडम आया तो विद इन 7 ईयर, ओके, ही डिसाइडेड टू एनेक्स कलिंगा। मतलब वो कलिंगा को अपने अंडर लेने का उन्होंने सोचा। एंड टू टेक ओवर कलिंगा ही हैड टू डू अ वॉर। उन्होंने उसके लिए एक वॉर किया in 2061 BCE. And during that period what happened? अशोका वॉज सक्सेसफुल इन डिफीटिंग द आर्मी ऑफ कलिंगा। तो उन्होंने आर्मी ऑफ कलिंगा को डिफीट किया एंड ही टुक ओवर द टेरिटरी ऑफ कलिंगा अंडर हिम। बट देर वॉज अ वेरी हैवी लॉस ऑफ लाइफ इन दिस वॉर। जब वो वॉर हुआ था देर वॉज अ वेरी हैवी लॉस ऑफ लाइफ, बहुत सारे लोगों की जाने गई थी। इन दैट 1 लाख पीपल लॉस देयर लाइफ ऑन बोथ साइड्स, मतलब दोनों तरफ से, बीट द कलिंगा और बीट अशोका, दोनों के किंगडम की तरफ से लाखों लोगों की जाने गई थी उस टाइम पे। एंड इट इज सेड दैट द वाटर ऑफ द रिवर, ओके, रनिंग नेक्स्ट टू द बैटल फील्ड टर्न्ड रेड विद द ब्लड ऑफ दोज किल्ड। मतलब इतना ज़्यादा लोगों की डेथ हुई थी, इतना ज़्यादा लोग मारे गए थे उसमें कि जो रिवर थी, जो बैटल फील्ड के साइड में जो रिवर थी, वो पूरे खून से बह रही थी, लाल होकर। उतनी ज़्यादा मौतें हुई थी उस टाइम पे। सो वॉकिंग थ्रू द बैटल फील्ड एम्परर अशोका सॉ दी sorrow and the pain of the wounded। मतलब जब उन्होंने ये सारी चीज़ें, अशोका ने जब बैटल के बाद जब ये सारी चीज़ें देखी, जो ये पेन, ये सॉरो, ये जो फाइट के बाद जो सीन था, वो सब कुछ देखा, देन ही गॉट सो मूव्ड। उनको ये चीज़ें बिल्कुल, आप कह सकते हो कि वो चीज़ें बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं लगी, ओके। एंड ही गॉट सो मूव्ड दैट ही डिसाइडेड दैट ही वुड नॉट इंडल्ज इन एनी मोर वॉर्स एंड किलिंग। तो ये जो चीज़ें थी, जब उन्होंने ये सारी चीज़ें देखी, जब लोगों की जान गई और लोग पेन में हैं, दर्द में हैं, इतने पेन और इतनी जैसे चोटें खाए हैं, तो ऐसे ऐसे जब चीज़ें उन्होंने अपनी आंखों के सामने देखी, तो ये चीज़ देखकर वो क्या हो गए, एक अलग ही जोन में चले गए। उनको ये लगा कि अब आगे जाकर, उन्होंने ये डिसाइड किया कि आगे जाकर वो कोई भी वॉर या कोई भी किलिंग्स नहीं करेंगे। अब आगे जाकर ही विल नॉट गेट हिमसेल्फ इंडल्ज इन एनी मोर वॉर्स एंड किलिंग्स, ओके। सो व्हाट ही डिसाइडेड, द आफ्टरमाथ ऑफ बैटल। आफ्टरमाथ ऑफ बैटल मतलब अशोका ने बैटल के बाद क्या चेंज आया अशोका के लाइफ में। बैटल से पहले he was the different man, but after the battle when he saw all those pain, all those killings, then after what change came to his life, okay, after the battle of Kalinga, seeing the sight of the dead and the wounded, the Ashoka was emotionally moved। वो बहुत इमोशनल हो गए थे जब ये सारी चीज़ों को उन्होंने देखा। He took it upon himself to spread message of peaceful coexistence called धमा। उन्होंने ये डिसाइड किया कि अब से वो वॉरियर किलिंग्स नहीं करेंगे, वो पीस का रास्ता चुनेंगे। तो उन्होंने लोगों को पीस के बारे में मैसेज देना स्टार्ट किया, टू लीव अ पीसफुल लाइफ। तो उन्होंने क्या क्या चीज़ें अपने धमा में बताया है, दैट यू सी द फर्स्ट इज़ बी काइंड टू एवरी वन इंक्लूडिंग एनिमल्स। वी शुड बी काइंड टू एवरी वन, ह्यूमन एंड एनिमल्स। Treat all human beings, elder and younger, with respect. We should treat everybody, though they are your younger or elder. We should treat everybody with respect. Follow the path of non-violence, means no fight, non-violence. Okay, no fight. Respect all religions. Okay, we should respect all the religions. Denounce expensive rituals and live simple lives. We should not believe, or we should not go for expensive rituals, but we should live a simple life. Okay, that message Ashoka gave to the people. Okay, Now, the Edicts of Ashoka. Now, Edicts of Ashoka means there were many proclamations, there were many statements which were released regarding Ashoka. So, in those statements, what were written? You see, the Edicts of Ashoka set in stone, okay, it was written in stone, are found throughout the Indian subcontinent, ranging from Afghanistan in the northwest to Andhra in the southwest. Means इतने सारे regions में उनके बारे में लिखा हुआ मिलता है, generally in stones and all. Okay, so Ashoka's edict states his policies and accomplishment. तो वो सारी चीज़ों जो लिखी होती हैं वो सारी चीज़ें क्या बताती हैं? It tells us about the Ashoka's policies, means what rules, what policies Ashoka used to follow, what were his achievements, what all he accomplished, what all he gained, what all he achieved. Everything was written. Okay, it is written in Prakrit. Which language? Prakrit language. So two of them were written in Greek. Okay, two edicts were written in Greek, and one was written in Greek and Arabic. Okay. Now inscriptions of Ashokas were also there. You have studied in the first or the second chapter. Inscription of Ashoka. Okay, this shows that Ashoka believed in Buddhist concept of dharma and his effort to develop dharma throughout his kingdom. It's not dharma beta, it is dhamma. Okay, dhamma. Okay, dhamma. This is also dhamma. Okay, so Ashoka actually believed in Buddhist concept. He believed in Lord Buddha, and he spread the teaching of Lord Buddha to all the people across the kingdom. Okay, so this was all given in the Edicts of Ashoka, right? So here we studied about the Mauryan Empire and their kingdoms and kings. Okay, and the last is your the Mauryan administration. Mauryan administration means generally the officials, okay, the officials who actually worked for the betterment of the people of the empire. See, the first political setup, the first point is the political setup. So what was the political setup? See, the king had the supreme power. Who had the supreme power? The king had the supreme power. Okay, means kingdom का power किसके हाथ में होता है? The supreme power, the king. Okay, he was advised by ministers known as the mantri parishad. Okay, if any advice needs to be taken, he takes the advice of the ministers. Okay, now the next is provinces. Now empire was divided into several provinces. वहाँ पे बहुत सारे provinces थे. Okay, these were under the control of governors who were princes from the royal family. So these provinces were under the control of the governors who were princes from the royal family and were called kumars. Those people were known as kumars. The provinces had district. जो छोटे छोटे provinces होते थे बेटा, दस यू कैन से द प्रोविंसेस, जो छोटे छोटे इलाके होते थे, ओके, प्रोविंसेस होते थे, जो एक छोटे छोटे किंग्स के रूल के अंडर आते थे, छोटे छोटे एरिया होते थे, प्रोविंसेस जो छोटे छोटे एरिया होते थे, हर एक एरिया में डिस्ट्रिक्ट होते थे. ओके, द प्रोविंसेस हैड डिस्ट्रिक्ट एंड डिस्ट्रिक्ट हैड मेनी विलेजेस. मतलब एक प्रोविंस के अंदर, एक एरिया के अंदर एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट होता था एंड एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर बहुत सारे विलेजेस होते थे अंडर देम. ओके, now, the next is judiciary. Now, let us talk about the law and what all law the things like law related thing which were followed in this kingdom. Okay, the king was the supreme judge. Who was the supreme judge? The king was the supreme judge, because after all, who was the head of the kingdom? The king. So all the decisions, all the judgments were taken by whom? By the king. Also, there were lower courts and panchayat. As you know, in the villages, the panchayats are there, and many people are there who come together and form panchayat. So this kind of system was there during those time also. So they had panchayat. So whatever the decisions were taken, it was taken by them. So the king himself could also be addressed by a common man for justice. Means if the decisions will be taken by the king with the help of the panchayats. Okay, now, revenue collection. Revenue collection means money. Now, to take care of the activities of the kingdom, किंगडम को चलाने के लिए, आर्मीज को संभालने के लिए, किंगडम में जो बिजनेस हो रहा है उसको संभालने के लिए, टू फीड द पीपल, many the king should have income. Okay, king के पास पैसा होना चाहिए अपने soldiers को संभालने के लिए, अपने armies को संभालने के लिए, अपने लोगों को संभालने के लिए. Okay, the king should have income. From where he collected the income? From where he collected the revenue? He collected the revenue from the people in the form of taxes, which we studied in the previous chapter also. Okay, the king used to collect money from the people to take care of the activities of the to carry out the activities of the kingdom. The king used to collect the money, and he cannot ask directly the money, so they collected the money in the form of taxes. Okay, so they were given a so they collected the money in the form of taxes, and the taxes were collected from farmers, craftsperson, traders, and herders. Okay, so whatever they earn, they give some amount to the king. Okay, and this tax were collected by some officials. There were many officers who were appointed by the king, and their duty was to collect taxes from the people. And the officials were given salary. जो भी officials रहते थे उनको salary मिलती थी. उनका काम क्या था? उनका काम था लोगों से tax collect करना. Okay, spies were appointed to keep a watch on the performance of the official. जो officials का काम होता था वो होता था टैक्स को कलेक्ट करना, मतलब पैसे को कलेक्ट करना. तो वो जो होते थे वो पैसे कलेक्ट करते थे, लेकिन वो उनके पीछे किंग ने स्पाइस लगाया था ताकि जो ऑफिशियल्स हैं वो सही तरह से काम करें, जो भी वो पैसे कलेक्ट करें वो सही तरह से डिपॉजिट करें किंग के पास. तो उसके लिए उन्होंने स्पाइस भी लगाए थे. ओके, सो दिस वाज द revenue collection procedure. Now public work. See, public work, what all public works were carried on by the king. The king spent a lot of money on development and providing facilities for the people, road, wells, and rest houses. Means to improve the facility in the kingdom, like the road facility, your drinking facility, many facility were given by the king. So king spent lot of money for developing these facilities and providing the facilities to its people. Okay, now the next is religious transformation. What religious transformation came? See, transformation came. क्या religious transformation मतलब क्या किस तरह से बदलाव आया? ओके किस तरह से ट्रांसफॉर्म हुआ, रिलीजियस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कैसे हुआ, क्या क्या बदलाव आए, क्या क्या चेंजेस हुआ, दैट वी आर गोइंग टू सी. अशोका बिलीव्ड दैट ऑल रिलीजियंस should be respected. He believed in all the religions. He respected all the religion. Ashoka Ashoka's message helped in spreading of Buddhism. Ashoka believed in which religion? Buddhism. Okay, he was the follower of Lord Buddha. Okay, so he spread the message of Buddhism to which part? He was spreading the message of Buddhism to all over India. Okay, he was spreading the message to Sri Lanka, Southeast Asia, West Asia, and Mediterranean Europe. So, in all these places, Ashoka was spreading the message of Buddhism. Okay. Now, the next is Mauryan Empire is considered to be one of the most significant periods in Indian history. The empire, okay, of Mauryan was considered as the most important period in the Indian history. This period is also known as the golden period of Indian history. This period is also known as the golden period of Indian history because in this period, during the Mauryan Empire, मेजर डेवलपमेंट्स हैपेंड. मीन्स जितनी सारी डेवलपमेंट्स थी इन द फील्ड ऑफ साइंस, इन द फील्ड ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर, इन द फील्ड ऑफ आर्किटेक्चर, इन द फील्ड ऑफ लिटरेचर, all these fields were growing, were developing, and the kingdom was so expanded. It was so large in size, it was growing in size, it was growing, and it was becoming more and more prosperous, it was becoming more and more wealthy. Okay, so in this way it is known as the golden period of Indian history because that kingdom was the most important kingdom of Indian history. Okay, now the lion capital of Ashoka at Sarnath is now adopted as the emblem of India. So you very well know the lion capital of Ashoka at Sarnath. At Sarnath, the lion capital of Ashoka is there, and that symbol is considered as the emblem of India. Okay, in which the lions are there. Okay, and all the sides. So that one. So this was all about the Mauryan administration, how the administration, okay, how the officials worked, okay, for the betterment of the people of the Mauryan kingdom. Okay, so this was all about the first empire of India. So that's it. This is the end of the chapter. Thank you.